This is my steering wheel, Momo. It has the energy quick on the back. This is a much older version because I'm old as dirt. And I know there's like different ones with like the paddles and all that stuff. But basically when you put it on, and you turn it, it makes a ding noise, right? There's a thing on TikTok, and you may know this because you might be a cloud chaser yourself, or you might just hate people, that people were specifically wanted the ding, and if you didn't have the ding, that ding, they clowned you for not having it. Like, who? Like, is that actually something that you care about? How about you like take the underglow off your Maxima? How about that? Like, how about we go there? I'm sorry, my rant's done. Let's get on. Should probably grab some water before we do this. What's going on, guys? I'm the Tween. We're going to be watching a video today about S Chassis, my collector car feed. As you guys may know, I am the owner of a 240. This is my car right here. I'll show you. I've been through a lot with it. I've had it since 2015. I got into it knowing very little about cars. Unfortunately, today, the S Chassis is super glorified. Don't know why. I love mine, don't get me wrong. Wouldn't change it for the world. The amount of people, like the friendships, and just like the experiences that I've had with the car, I wouldn't trade it for anything. We're gonna watch Collector Car Feed's video, basically explaining the 240 and not sugarcoating it. I was watching this on my way to work one day for like 5 minutes, and then I started dying, so I paused it, and I wanted to do a reaction video to it and kind of give my 2 cents on it as well. But we're gonna just go through it and see what we can find. Also, keep in mind, if you're 16 and you want a 240, do not make the mistakes I made. Have a daily first. Start saving now because they're overpriced. I bought mine for $5K back in the day, but it had, I hate the SR, but it had an SR in it, 5-lug swap, seats, like it had a lot of stuff in it already. It was manual swapped. So if you want a 240, just kind of be ready for the adventure ahead of you, because there's a lot behind it. So let's get into this.
Hi, I'm Netgear57 with Collector Car Feed, and this is the cold, hard truth of buying a 240SX. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. 90% of the cars you see are not worth buying. Maybe even 95%. They're pieces of shit.
He's literally right. When it comes to buying a 240, like, I don't even know how I want to like go about this. Like, it's hard because like every 240, for the most part, like you said, 95% are owned by kids that beat the crap out of them, didn't maintain them, wanted for the cloud or something like that, or maybe they really love the car, I don't know, but like they tried to build them in like their driveway and stuff, and they tried to turbo it, and it was a nightmare, and they couldn't figure it out, so they're selling it because they could never get it running. We'll get into it.
Alright, so you've seen Donuts or Fitment Industries videos about 240s, getting you up to speed, showing you what you need to know so you know you want to buy a 240. And now you're an S Chassis expert. You know everything about 240SXs because of these 2 videos you watched, and they blew so much sunshine up your ass that you've been shitting rainbows for a week. Well, guess what, ass? I'm here to give you a dose of reality. If you're 16, 20, 21, 22, 23 years old, you've never had a 240 in your life, it's going to be the absolute worst car purchase you will ever make in your life. Now, I know I'm gonna make a whole lot of people.
It's the worst and the best. Like I said, a ton of experiences, but like my car turned off on me several times. Like in the middle of a one-way road, in the middle of the highway. The head blew in the middle of Queens, and I live 45 minutes from Queens. My brakes have been out 3 times. One driving on the highway, one driving on a regular road. New York is packed. It's not like people, oh, just downshift. Yeah, I did. But I still went through a red light because my brakes went out. Like, it's like, these cars are not, they're old. You gotta remember, like, I'm 27. I could only imagine that you guys are way younger than me for the most part. These cars are older than you. They're older than me. Like, everything's rotting, everything's cracking, everything's breaking. Because I could go on for hours.
If you're one of the good buyers, cool. Don't worry about it. Ignore this. But if you're one of those brain-dead TikTokers, talking to you. Go ahead and bitch about me on TikTok about how I didn't respect all builds. Go ahead and tag Collector Car Feed in it. Now, the worst pitfalls that a new 240SX buyer can fall into are going to be lack of experience, community burnout, the cheap car fallacy, and then clout chase.
We're going to kind of touch upon the 4 points that he just made. Lack of experience, that was me, 100%. I barely knew what I was doing with cars. I'm going to be honest, I'm not the most mechanically inclined regardless. I've been learning. I've learned how to do body work. We've learned how to just make stuff work. I have mechanic friends. They've helped me out a ton. I've learned a lot. Trust, with the 240, you have to learn. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare. Unless you just have really, really good friends, which I have both. Community burnout. The 240 community is very divided. And I wish I had my other Hot Wheels right here with the other 240, but it's in my car. There's the super, super cool guys, like the coolest guys you've ever met in your life, like nicest guys. And then there's the other side. Well, I just hit the mic. There's the other side where they're just like, hate that you have the same car as them. Like, they don't want to see you succeed. They hate that you even bought it. They hate that you're either have a nicer one or a worse one. Like, you can't, there's no winning with these people, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's so annoying. The cheap car fallacy, I'm assuming he means like the idea that these cars are cheap because they're not, especially now. They're definitely not. And just to build them, to get them reliable, you know, sometimes, like I said, you get the diamond in the rough, you get the KA stock, it runs great, you bring it to the track, you bring it home, and it's your daily. Like, very rare, but amazing that you were able to find that. And then the cloud chasing, obviously, we already know how that is today. I feel hypocritical for saying this because I have a bunch of followers, because I have a 240, but like at the same time, like I wasn't like... Obviously, my whole entire idea is make this a career, but like people like are legitimate like clout chasing for this. It's like, yeah, I have a car. It is what it is. Just be humble about it.
Now, if you want your 240 ownership to be as pleasant as possible, try your best to mitigate these factors. All right, so let's start with lack of experience. Now, I know what you're thinking. You can't do that, Ned. That's gatekeeping. You have to buy the car to get experience. And you know, I might give you that argument. That is a good point that you make. But a lot of you motherfuckers have never lurked, and it shows. You have to lurk. If you're serious about buying one of these cars, you're gonna do the research. You have to do your due diligence and find out everything you can about these cars to stop yourself from making a wrong purchase, an incorrect decision, something that's gonna sit in a driveway and not do anything for the rest of its life.
So what he's saying right here, so many people, especially when I first kind of got the 240 after like maybe like 2 years of owning it. How long has it been now? It's 2022. I got it in 2015. 7 years, over 7.5 years. I've had it for 7.5 years. So after like the first 2 years, a lot of people were like, oh, should I get a 240? I want to get a 240. I'm like, no. Don't get a 240, especially if it's beat, because a lot of people go, oh, it doesn't run, but I'll get it to run. No, you're not. You're not gonna. If the previous owner didn't get it to run and he's selling it, you're not gonna get this car on. Just letting you know. And if you do, it's gonna be a long time. This happened several times with people. They bought a 240, and then within 6 months they got rid of it because they tried. They spent a bunch of money on it, and they just got rid of it. And then I'll hit them up like, hey, how's your 240? Oh, I got rid of it. Told you not to get it. You just wasted all that money for nothing. Jeremy, as you guys know on the channel. Bought his 240. I feel really bad for this. We went to go see an S14 off Facebook Marketplace. It had a huge body kit on it. It was a Club Loose car. And I came with him to look and make sure it was okay. There's no engine in it, so like, what's the worst? I'm looking for body damage, rust, rot. Don't really see anything. He got it home. Took the side skirt off and the whole rocker was rotted. And I felt so bad. But the main moral of the story, besides me being a terrible person, is he got it. It sat for years. He sold it, bought it back with an engine in it. Still didn't run. Still didn't run. And then he got it running. So, and this is 6 years later. You're not going to get the car on. I'm just telling you right now. If you want this car running within the year, it's not going to happen.
Lack of experience is the main reason why dudes that join the army buy V6 Challengers and marry a stripper. They don't know any better, and that's why kids go out and buy Shell 240s that are never gonna run again and think, oh, I'm f***ing the next Drift King. You don't have to buy the first thing that comes up on Facebook Marketplace. You have to be honest with yourself. Is a kid that has little to no knowledge in both 240s and in simply working on cars going to be able to take a shell, put it together, piece together a single cam KA that's torn apart, doesn't know anything about it, and get that thing running? Let's be real here. You got to be honest with yourself. There's a great YouTube video by the YouTuber Auto Shop Dreams. Great video about what to look for in rust, because these things, they'll rust like a motherfucker.
If you watch that video, he probably goes over a lot of stuff with rust, but under the carpet near the footwells, the frame rails by the front rot really bad. They have replacements so you can cut them and weld them in. The rockers, check those. Anywhere where the tires kick up water and dirt are really important. Also check the engine bay, like right here under where the battery goes and other spots, rust and rot. Trunk underneath, if you even have a carpet where the spare goes, check for rust and rot. The engine bay itself, the firewall and the strut towers, rotting and cracks. I had to get a whole bunch of stress cracks welded when I did my engine swap. Pay attention to stuff. Stuff will cost you money, or it will make the car pretty much useless.
People that know about 240s, they know they have a piece of shit car and they want to give it to an idiot kid that just wants a 240 and just wants an S13 that doesn't know any better, so they get rid of it. But they know, these unscrupulous sellers, they know that it's not a good car. So watch that video. We'll link it down in the description. Watch it after this video. Don't watch it right now. But that's a great video that shows you what to look for in rust. All right, next, let's talk about community burnout. The 240SX community is probably the absolute worst community of people that you'll ever run across in any automotive circle. It's basically made up of a bunch of angry, older fucking dudes that are living in the past. They can't fathom that this car that they loved when they were younger and was cheap, it's rising in value, and now they're worth something, and they're just living in the past. 240s are not worth... That's a $2,000 car all day. Okay, dude, if that's a fucking $2,000 car all day, how about you sell me your 240 for $2,000? You're not, because you
they're
know
all
that you're
miserable,
never
bro.
ever
They're
gonna
all
find
miserable.
another one like that again. They're just being ass.
If you don't have tough skin, do not go on the forums. I'm telling you right now, you will get ripped apart. It's just like miserable trolls that just hate their life. I'm telling you.
Stupid. And the other half of the community is fucking dumbass kids that are just straight up idiots. Dumbass TikTok kids that don't know shit about anything. And all they do is clog up Facebook 240 groups. How much stance can I put on my 240 SX before it rubs? What oil?
Also, don't ask dumb questions in the forums either. So it's like a double-sided thing, because you're gonna get ripped apart anyway. So like, don't ask dumb questions, but also if you don't have tough skin, you're gonna get ripped apart no matter what. So
is best for stance? Is NRG a good stance brand? Like, motherfucker, all this shit has been asked and answered since the beginning of time. Do a little bit of research. Now look, there's cool older dudes and there's cool younger dudes, but those two groups are probably what make up the most of 240 ownership. It's very easy to become jaded in the community, and you end up hating this fucking purchase that you made because everyone just makes fun of you and clowns you, or maybe you're the asshole doing the clowning. But remember,
when I first got it, right after I did the LS swap, I got clowned non-stop. And like, at the end of the day, it's always like, oh, it's my build, they do it for me, whatever. But like, when you just get bombarded with people just like crapping on you for no reason, it's just like, shut up. Like, it's just annoying. This is completely irrelevant, but like, because I have a decent amount of followers on Instagram, something with the algorithms doesn't even make sense anymore. Like, my stuff doesn't really reach my followers in general. It always reaches like the For You pages and stuff. So it's like, I get random people commenting all the time, and like, it's just always hate. And then like, if I comment back like, you have 100,000 followers, why are you commenting to me? I'm like, I'm still a person. Like, I'm still reading your stupid comment. Like, you're gonna get a response. Like, am I not allowed to respond to you now because like I have a number on my page? Like, makes no sense. But like, people will hate you no matter what you do on your car. If you cut it up, you put a different engine in it. If it's not an SR20, God forbid, you might as well just sell it now. Don't even waste your time. Just get rid of it. I'm sorry, but like what he's saying, there are cool people, like I was saying before, and they are super awesome people.
You have to be the change that you want to see in the community. If you don't want people to shit on newbies, don't be the newbie that's asking dumb fucking questions that have been answered since day one. What is a tire? Motherfucker, you know what a tire is. Look it up on Google. Go to Zilvia. I know Zilvia's down a lot, but there's a lot of stuff you can answer on your own just by Googling. You have so much knowledge at your fingertips, but you don't use it. And that's what makes the older dudes mad. But on the other side of the coin, the older dudes are shitting on people, gatekeeping, not like I'm doing, but they're gatekeeping, saying, oh, no, dude, if you weren't driving an S13 when you came out of your mama's, you know, you ain't shit. No, fuck that, dude. Be the change you want to see. Don't be a dumb fucking noob. Don't be a fucking asshole older guy. Because the only way that the community's going to keep growing is if the older generation teaches the younger generation. It's happening right now with early Fords. All the early Ford guys are not passing their knowledge down to anybody, so that's going away, and that's why early Fords, the values are dropping. Okay, cheap car fallacy. Now, in my opinion, the cheap car fallacy, that's probably what most new 240 owners are going to fall into. especially if you're a kid, you don't have a lot of money. The cheap car fallacy is basically this idea that, oh, you know, I can't afford a nice S13. I'll never, oh God, they're so expensive now. You know, $10,000, $12,000, $14,000. Hell, you watch this in a year from now, it might be even $15,000, $20,000. But anyway, they think, oh, I can't afford that. I can't afford a nice one. Oh, but look, hey, $2,000 for a shell, no interior, completely stripped. Oh, I can put anything I want in it. That's a deal.
All right, so clearly I was wrong about the cheap car fallacy and his exact point from before, but he's right. You're better, well, I'm assuming this is where his idea is gonna go. Don't buy the crapper with no engine in it, no trans, no diff, nothing, because it's a waste of your time and money, and you're gonna spend more money buying parts just to get it to the state that it could have been. You're better off buying, and obviously don't buy the $13,000 one either, because you don't need that. Find somewhere in between, 6,000, 7,000. I bought mine for 5 and it was clapped, but like, you know, somewhere in that realm, and then go from there, because you're better off just starting with a car that already runs and like has wheels on it rather than a rolling shell that you're never gonna finish, because now you gotta, you know how hard it is to, like, when you're going online, you're like, I gotta check out now, I gotta spend all this money, and you're just spending money on bushings, on lug nuts, on like just dumb crap that, like, you're like, why do I even have to spend money on this? Because you just bought a dumb car.
I can get that and build it. Wrong, motherfucker. Buying a hacked piece of shit garbage 240 is the worst decision you can make. For the price of getting a piece of shit shell,
same color,
presentable, running, decent condition, you're not embarrassed to take it to the car meet. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna cost you more than if you would have just bought the nice 240 to begin with. Even more so if you're trying to make something like a Sylvia clone or the most memed to fucking death Sil 80. A lot of parts on these cars, they're super hard to find now. Nissan's discontinuing them. No one's making them. It's not like a 69 Camaro where you can get a repop fender. No one is making repop Sylvia fenders. Well, I take that back. They're making garbage, trash, wide body with a fucking vent Sylvia fenders. Those do not look good. Don't buy them. And then especially with the interior, a lot of the cars you see, they're completely metal on the inside, nothing in there, because back in 2000...
If they're Origin, I have no problem with them. I have rep front ones because my car was on a very strict timeline. Like, the car had to get done and nothing was available. They don't fit properly. I had to do a ton of body work just to get them to even relatively get on the car. I think they look nice, but buy proper parts. Make sure the stuff fits, because, I mean, no body kit's ever going to 100% fit perfect. But if you spend the money on more real stuff, it'll fit 1,000 times better. Like, the Rocket Bunny kit fit pretty well. The flares didn't at all. I had to put the rubber grommet on it to even make it look relatively nice. But for this kit, it was a nightmare for the flares itself. I actually had to get rid of my rear flares and buy new rear flares they were Modelo Drive. Actually pretty decent. Those actually fit pretty well, but the whole kit fit really nice. The front bumper, rear bumper, and side skirts were 2F Performance, the Super Doof. I mean, the side skirts didn't exactly fit properly because they're not meant for 240s with bigger wheels, but they tell you, like, 2F is straight up, like, super transparent. They're like, hey, you're gonna have to cut it. So I had to look at a bunch of other 240s like Chair Slayer and other people that had Super Doof kits and just see, like, yeah, they just chopped the front of the skirts off. So yeah, do your research.
2008, some fucking racer realized that the 7 pounds of interior plastic inside, that's what was holding his car back. Oh, that's a thing.
I gutted my car too, but half the interior was like shot, so I feel justified in that.
That was keeping him from running 10s in the quarter mile, his interior plastic. Now, because this really isn't something that new car buyers take into consideration, you kind of see this endless cycle of shit car, dude buys it, oh, I'm gonna fix it up, realizes that he's never gonna fix it up, and then sells it to the next asshole, and
I told you, you're not gonna fit. I'm telling you, if you buy a junker and you're like, I'll get this done, it's not gonna happen. If they did the turbo in their garage, in their driveway, do not buy it. I'm telling you right now.
It's just an endless waltz.
If it's not running, do not buy it. If it can't stay in idle, don't buy it.
Beating over and over for eternity. Buying a cheap car will almost always cost you more money in the long run. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but for a new buyer, it's extremely, extremely unlikely. To get a piece of shit 240 back on the road, you need to know these cars inside and out. You have to know how to work on them. You got to know how to weld, and you got to have a fucking stash of a bunch of parts that you've been stacking for years to get something from shell to street and do it in a manner that won't cost you more than just...
Make sure you have room for parts. I have a lot of stuff in my grandma's house in the shed. I currently live in an apartment, as you guys can see. It's literally the living room that I'm in, the room right there, and my kitchen that goes right here, and that is it. So I have a little like outdoor like side area. I have no room for anything. I have all these drift wheels and everything. I have no room. I don't know what I'm gonna do, like, cause she's moving. My grandma's moving, so the shed is no longer an option. So I'm trying to sell my roll cage. Oh, quick shout out. If you want to buy a 240 roll cage, DM me on Instagram, the tween. If you want to take over my lease on my Tacoma, I'm actually getting rid of that. Let me know, the tween on Instagram. We'll do the paperwork. I'll pay for the fees. If you tell me that you found me through this, I will actually pay for your first month's payment. Please, just get me out of my lease. It's a Tacoma. It's brand new. I bought it in April. I just traded my Corolla for it, and then I kind of just like fell into the more payments that I just really didn't want. Let me know, please, for the love of everything. You'll help me start drifting in the spring at a much more comfortable financial situation.
You change your fucking TikTok handle to hentai kohai. You buy 240 shell, make your fucking TikTok video, and you're announcing to the world that famous word. Soon. You jump onto injukuracing.com, look at everything you can buy.
I'm sorry. So many of my friends were just like, soon, the 240, I'll get it soon. It just never happened, bro.
Oh man, this is gonna be the sickest car. Look at all this ISR shit I can buy. You look at all the sick mods that you can't wait to do to your non-running, no engine, on fucking jack stands, no interior, no glass, Japanese pile of fucking rust accelerant in your front yard. Instead of trying to figure out, oh, and where can I get a new engine? Man, I should probably put some suspension in this car. Anything, absolutely anything to get this car back on the road running correctly. What do? I'm gonna get this NRG quick release steering wheel. That's what TikTok will like. And then,
okay, so there was a thing not too long ago. So I have an energy hub. I'll show you right now. Hold on. I actually have 2 steering wheels. I don't really feel like taking it out of the box right now, but we actually are part of the Street Arrow team. I actually got sponsored by them. Give me actually pretty sick wheel. This isn't my actual steering wheel. This isn't when I drive in my car. I actually just got this. Street Arrow, pretty nice. I guess it's suede. I'm assuming it's not Alcantara, but it's actually really nice. I actually really like this. I don't know if I want to use this on the track or not, because like I'm gonna ruin it. But I will show you guys what else I got in another video. Go in the box. All right. So, as I was saying, sorry, I go off on tangents. This is my steering wheel, Momo. It has the Energy Quick on the back. This is a much older version because I'm old as dirt. And I know there's like different ones with like paddles and all that stuff. But basically when you put it on, and you turn it, it makes a ding noise, right? There's a thing on TikTok, and you may know this because you might be a cloud chaser yourself, or you might just hate people, that people were specifically wanted the ding. And if you didn't have the ding, they clowned you for not having it. That is so stupid and something that does not matter at all. Like, if you put your steering wheel on and you go ding and it doesn't do that, okay. Like, like, is that actually something that you care about? How about you like take the underglow off your Maxima? How about that? Like, how about we go there? I'm sorry, my rant's done. Let's get on.
Mysteries, and then you drool over a set of Vors TR37s. All right, hey, time to go back to school. Your financial aid check comes in, and finally you can get that wide body kit that you've been eyeing on jpfiberglass.com. It comes in, and it's everything you ever hoped for. It fits like shit. Your car doesn't run, and you fucking masking tape it to mock it up. Take some pictures, announce to the world your proclamation. Soon. All right, Christmas comes around now. Santa hasn't quite made your car run yet, but he did bring you a hydraulic e-brake. That's what you need. For Valentine's Day, you buy one of those subway handle things that people hang from the rear bumper in a heart shape. You tag your girlfriend, JDM Princess, on Instagram, telling her, can't wait to be driving in this car with you in the front seat soon. All right, so school year's nearly over. It's time to get buckled down for your next project. Big project over the summer. You finally do it, and you pull the trigger on a set of Vors TR37s, only $70 on a firm, wrapped in a set of Ling Long tires, the latest. You don't have a jack.
Please do not do a firm. If it's something that you can like buy soon, if you saved up for a month or two, just don't get hit with interest. Don't put it on your credit card. Just save up. Unless it's like a crazy like Black Friday deal and you're like, damn, I'm saving like $300. All right, fine. But like,
so all you can do really is place the wheels over your stock wheels right now and then take a picture. Excited, you know, you go on the fucking Facebook groups, put the photos up, hashtag soon. All right, so you might think I'm being a fucking asshole, you know, and I kind of am, but am I that far off? This fucking happens every day. It's all the fucking time. Do not waste your money on garbage shit. So that way you can LARP as a drifter.
Ah, the teal wheels. The teal wheels.
Doesn't.
That was my dream. Black with teal.
Run. If I can stop one idiot from making a mistake and buying a 240 that's going to be a pile of shit and just waste its money, or hell, maybe I can stop somebody from just ruining a 240 and putting stupid Cloud Chaser, quick release steering wheel, hydro e-brake, fucking dumb shit, ISR crap, garbage. One person, save one person or save one 240, I'll call this video a win. Alright, I'm gonna blow a little bit of sunshine up your ass. It can be hard owning a 240. It's a tough road, but it can also be very, very rewarding if you buy the right one. People bitch and moan all day about how 240s are unreliable. It's always gonna be broken. You're always gonna be fixing something. No, that. Buy the right one, keep it stocked, and it'll be fine. I used to deliver pizza in an S13 coupe. I did it for fucking years. I know all I ever had to change was a water pump. I think they're at around 160,000 miles, and the radiator, I think, cracked one time. That's it. I drove that car from 150, I think I bought it with, to 200,000 miles when I sold it. No issues. AC worked. Great car. I daily drive a 92 SE coupe right now, and all the work I've done to it is preventative maintenance or just unfucking something that the previous owner did. The previous owner only had it, well, there was a couple previous owners, but they only had it for a little bit and I still had to unfuck shit. But still, it's just preventative maintenance, my daily driver. Now, I know this next statement is gonna be kind of controversial, gonna piss people off. Keep your car stocked. You're not a fucking drifter, so just stop. Get some help. Leave the car alone.
Okay, so I don't disagree with him, but I also don't agree with him. If you're buying a 240, you're obviously buying a 240 because you want to mod it. Let's just get real. Yeah, unless you're a 240 guy, you're not buying a stock 240 to buy a stock 240. You're not. I know you're not doing that. You're not like, oh, I really love the way this pig nose looks. And if you don't know what a pig nose is, here you go. Like it's not an appealing. And I know I'm gonna get people like, oh, I love the pig nose. All right, I don't. But if I see one on the road, I'm still gonna freak out regardless because it's a 240. Mod it if you want. Don't mod it disgustingly. Freaking terrible body kits and like cheap Duraflex and crappy wheels and like eBay turbo. Actually, eBay's been getting a little better, but like still, like just like junk. Don't junk out the car. Like put some, like you said before, put some research into it. Really make a game plan. Like anytime before I build my car, like I've had 3 versions of it. I have a game plan. Like what do I want it to look like? What do I want the function to be? Whatever. And a lot of people thought that like the Rocket Bunny was like a drift build when I had it. It wasn't. That was actually like my show kind of build. And then now that I put the 2F performance kit on it, a lot of Formula Drift drivers have Super Doof 2F performance kits. They're like, oh, you made your car so nice, you made it show, blah, blah, blah. And now you're going to drift it. It's like, you had a drift build before. It's like, no, now it's a drift build. Like, so I always have a plan. I guess maybe because of the livery on the car, that people thought it was a drift build then, even though I have my livery coming still in spring or summer soon. I don't know. But just have your game plan. Plan it out. Whatever your budget is and whatever your time frame is, double it. I'm telling you right now. You're going to forget things. You're going to forget, oh, I have to buy sandpaper. I have to buy paint remover. I have to buy gloves and this and a ratchet and I broke this. All these things just like they add up. Think about whatever your budget is. I say double it just to be safe. Sometimes that's not even being safe. And whatever your time frame is, like I thought I was going to get the car done in like 2 months. It took me like 4 and I was working on it every single day for 6 hours at least, minimum 6 hours a day. So just a little FYI.
And just enjoy it as it is. As y'all are going to be destroying me down there in the comments, I'll leave you guys with this. Stop buying fucking shells. I'm Netgear57. Don't forget to visit collectorcarfeed.com.
Hey, if you got the money, you got the knowledge, buy a shell, do what you want. I'm not here to tell you, like you said, not to buy a 240. Like you said, it's rewarding. It is. I love the car. Everybody's telling me not to drift it because of the amount of work I put in it. But like the initial plan when I first bought the car was I wanted to drift. Like when I first bought it, it was the body kit was horrendous. The body wasn't even. It was what it was. So we took it out in the snow. We drifted every time that it was snowing. We were out there sliding. I crushed a bumper underneath the car. I went over, like into someone's front yard. The whole bumper went under the car, so I had to kick it off in the middle of the road. Just give you an idea of how that was. But I love my car. I love the 240. If you guys ever have any questions on my car, I always answer them. I don't gatekeep. If I don't see your DM, that's different. It gets a little packed. Ask people. I know there's some people out there that will be willing to answer you, and there's some people that won't. So what's your dream car? Let me know down below. I'm excited. We have a bunch of sponsors. If anybody's trying to sponsor my drift car for the spring, maybe tires or oil, something, I don't know, anything, let me know. It would definitely be appreciated. Okay, sorry, my wife called me. I forgot where I was. Yeah, please, someone buy my lease. If you guys want some cool merch, some flags, stickers, something like that, help me out. It's more of a passion project at the moment. It's simpleco.com. And bye.